So we have Brent Perkins here today, and you officially launched your mission-driven mastermind group. Your first
Yes.
member coming in today. So I'd love to just ask you a few questions on the special memory, the special moment, special milestone, because it's a big deal. Big deal.
Yes, it is. Exciting.
Awesome. So you had your first member sign up, and he not only signed up on a monthly, he paid in full for $10,000,
Yep.
officially 9,995.
Yes, officially.
Yes. Yeah. So I'd love to hear before, during, and after, and we can talk through it. So before starting to work together, externally, what were things looking like, as well as internally, where you
Mm.
had this mission for, driven dads to come together in a mastermind group. If you could just share where things were before.
Yeah. It- this this transition into personal development work has been almost 2 years in the process, maybe a year and a half in the process. And along the way, there's been imposter syndrome. I've worked through a lot of it with some of my other offerings and some of the other things I've been doing. But it's different when you pull a group together,
Mm,
right? Because it's not just one-on-one work, and if it doesn't happen, nobody really knows. It's kind of between you and the client. This is pulling a group of guys together, or a group of people together, and so it's it brought about imposter syndrome at a different level, and showing up for a group is different than showing up again one-on-one, where you can move things around. It's easy to reschedule. It's easy to push things,
mm,
and you can kind of react to a single person versus holding this group dynamic together. So I think there's so much uncertainty going into it, and of course, fear and unknown. And yeah, you and I talked. There came to this turning point where I didn't realize that going from one-on-one work to this group work wasn't about teaching or even really sharing what I've learned directly.
mm.
It's about sharing my journey, and that was the turning point that I believe is what dropped this sale in, and there's a couple more coming behind it. When I say sharing my journey, I mean like I'm going to live my life, my journey with this specially curated group of men over the next year. And what I'm learning, how I'm growing, what I'm doing in my life is the content for the mastermind.
Mm. Absolutely, because the mastermind group is for driven dads, and that is you. And so it's not like you're creating something for a different type of person, creating it for yourself, and you're walking the path and sharing along the way. And so cool, because I remember you having that unlock, and it
Mm-hmm.
just energetically just felt to me when I tune into your energy, like boom, just things were unblocking, unlocking.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the exact time, but I feel like that was so recent, like within the last week or something, or maybe a few days ago, where it's just like
I,
boom.
I, I think it was 8 days ago, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, right. So cool how that unlocked, and then boom, conversations were different. It sounded like your presence was
Oh,
energy
yeah.
different. You sharing on our mastermind call on Tuesday on how the conversations were different because your energy was different. And then fast forward to today, Friday, boom, person's in.
Here we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. So that was the before and the during. So, going into the mastermind program, True Freedom, and then going through it up until that point, is there anything else that comes to mind of, yeah, external or internal? I guess we kind of did touch on the before and the during. What was it like for you being connected to your mission throughout this, where it wasn't just a program or a pivot or a opportunity? It was a calling in your core to do this no matter what.
Stoma, I had no idea why I was supposed to specifically do it. I didn't know how it was going to come together. And I think this is, so there was, it came down to surrender and letting go, which has been my journey in general. And it's actually a lot of what I end up sharing and giving people permission in their own life, which is how to let go and let things show up, let life, um, what I call connected detachment. And it's how do
Mm,
you stay intimately connected with who you are, with the people you're interacting with your values and your own journey, right? But completely detached. So there's no codependency, there's no expectations.
mm,
You've let go of control in terms of how to steer it, what direction it goes next, how it shows up. Uh, and this practice of connected detachment is ultimately my life's journey and what has led me to this point.
mm.
Um, and it's hardish. It's hard, right?
Yes.
It's a daily practice.
Yes. Connected detachment.
Yeah,
I love that. And reminds me of some of the conversation on Tuesday of being connected or being attached to the mission, being detached to, say, the people, being detached to
yeah,
the way it comes through. And so that's
yeah.
what,
And I just want to. I like to reframe it a little bit and say connected because as we really start to think about the word attached, it's rarely healthy.
hmm,
And connected is could be an alternative word for it, but it's attached feels clingy, where connected feels plugged in.
hmm, I agree. Amazing. So breaking through and doing
Yeah,
it in a way that feels aligned, connected, and the right people are joining. It's not a reach, it's not a concession. It's like the right connected souls joining in. And so now, how are you feeling after officially? To me, when the money comes through, the official mastermind leadership is
yeah,
live. And so, yeah, how are you feeling now on this Friday?
yeah. Two things worth noting. Well, first off, it feels really feels really good, and it feels like everything's ready to drop into place now. I actually had somebody else say yes um, last night,
Mhm.
and I woke up and it was like I can't say yes back.
Hmm.
It's not the right fit, not for this program. I think there's some other work we can do, but not for this. And I wouldn't have said that a week ago, even yesterday. That was interesting.
Hmm.
Uh, and the last piece is that I don't have to try as much as I thought I was going to have to in
Hmm.
terms of really putting together some special program that's really polished and has all these well constructed presentations and programs around. It's going to be a lot more fluid than that, which
Hmm.
feels really really good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So much there. Um, yeah, with simpler than we
Mm-hmm.
might have imagined. That's been a big
Mm-hmm.
part of my journey too, exactly what you spoke to and we've talked about before. We have the passion and the desire to make it the best as possible, the program, the messaging, the everything. And so sometimes that can get in our own way of it just being simple with the energy, the people, and the invitation. And so, yeah, so powerful to hear that from you. And so powerful stewarding the mastermind group here and discernment of who is the right fit and who's not. And doesn't mean people are bad or worse or anything like that. It's just a discernment of the energy for the time. And so that heart centered leadership discernment, um, so admirable, and powerful. And so I love that that is a part of the journey here. And yeah, that's what separates, to me, a mission-driven mastermind group separates it from a coaching program or a course or a this or a that. It's so intentional, it's so connected. And for that person where maybe it's just not the right fit right now, sounds like doesn't mean that's a no forever. It could be there's certain things that go into
Yeah.
place, and then when that time is ready, um, it could be a welcoming in.
Yeah. I mean, it's been very clear to me developing and then over the last 2 weeks and then really falling into place. Like I said, with this decision not to bring on someone who's just not the right fit, that no matter what the topic is, my mastermind happens to be around dad, fathers who um and it's turning out that all of them are business owners.
Hmm.
So it's refining itself naturally.
Yeah.
Um, so entrepreneurial driven fathers that want to take their journey of being a father, a lover, a leader, synthesizing all three together, right, to the next level. Well, that means that those that are at the stage of uncertainty, like lack of self trust, lost, confused, doesn't mean that they're not in a perfect place, but that is not who I'm curating for this mastermind.
Hmm.
And I can't put that, I can't put people at that stage in the journey in my mastermind because it wouldn't do justice for those who are showing up at a different place in their journey. Yeah.
Right. Right. And I love that you have your book, Paper Cuts. And so if a person isn't in that quite in that space
Great.
yet,
Yeah.
there's resources, there's things that you publish. And that's for me what I found is the balance, or just being able to make those discernment is like, okay, have free content, give as much as I can there. And that allows a person to not, well, to still continue their journey, yet still maintaining the clarity of who the mastermind is for.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you for your support and guidance as well too. I really appreciate it.
absolutely. It's been my honor, my pleasure, my passion. And so this is why I do what I do, because the world has a lot of problems and our country has a lot of problems. And I believe we need each of us leaders rising up and solving them. And so working with the entrepreneurial driven fathers that you are, it creates so much impact for generations and generations through the father's leadership and through your leadership. So thank you for stepping up, and it's been fun, and it's going to continue to be fun. We're just getting started now. Now we grow from
I
here
know.
and here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Sebastian.